Hi everyone, this is Arcadius and welcome back to Naval Creed. Today we'll be reviewing the newest Prism ship, and that is the battlecruiser Renown. And honestly, I had mixed feelings about this ship, but I have had quite a few number of games in her, and she hasn't exactly been disappointing, and in fact she seems pretty well balanced, though she is kind of gimmicky. She has a little bit of everything of ships at this tier. So let's take a look to see what we have. We have 60,500 health. She is also a tier 7, mind you, so she will be going up against Hoods and Gneisenau's and Colorados and Nagatos and ships like that. So 60,500 health, 25% torpedo damage resistance, which doesn't seem terrible, honestly. Only up to 229 millimeters of armor, so not a lot of armor there. Belt of 229, though it does say the max is 279, probably on the turret faces and the barbettes, though it looks like the rear of the turrets is really heavily armored. So yeah, the turrets are very heavily armored. I haven't exactly had a chance to shoot the broadside of the ship, so I'm not exactly sure how the broadside armor is, but when I have not citadeled her. So she may have slightly better citadel armor than other battle cruisers. It looks like she does have a turtle back. So it may be a little bit more effective than other armor schemes, even though it is kind of light. And let's see here, we have 3 main guns. Those are housing twin 381 or 15-inch guns, arranged in 2-4 and 1 aft turret, so just like Repulse. And these guns do 2.22 rounds a minute. They are very quick firing, I would say. 180-degree turn time of 36 seconds. You have high explosive shells of a battle cruiser with 50% fire chance and 95 millimeters of HE piercing. And maximum damage for armor piercing is 12,900, and you can see these stats here. The velocities for both shell types are exactly the same, so there's no kind of alteration, just like K2 or Victoria, where if you equip the 4,000-pound shells, you have to keep in mind that they're a lot slower. You don't have that on this ship. So the guns I've had no problems with. Armor piercing, you can do a ton of damage and get quite a few citadels. They are quite accurate as well. I do have her focus, or at least the module, for accuracy. I don't have many crew skills yet. Actually, I don't think I have any. And then high explosive, you can land a ton of hits. I've gotten like 11,000, 12,000 damage on some light cruisers and set multiple fires. So either shell type is usable. It just really depends on what your target is, what kind of angle they're providing you. Main range is 19.2 kilometers. Secondary range is 5.6 kilometers. So I believe that is equal to the farthest secondary range. Actually, let me check that, because I know let's see, I know Maryland has about 5.6. Yep, Maryland has 5.6. Dunkirk has 5.5, so it even outclasses Dunkirk. What about Gneisenau now? Is she a 5.0? 5.0? Yeah, she's a 5.0. So yeah, Renown has equals the farthest ranging secondaries at tier 7, I would pretty sure. I'm confident in saying that. I haven't really compared her stats yet. But secondaries go out to 5.6, and we have 10 twin 4.5-inch guns on each side, and these are dual purpose guns. So not only are they used as secondaries, but they actually give the ship a really, really powerful anti-aircraft suite. And honestly, she is pretty similar to Maryland in terms of AA's stats. So one of the top AA ships at this tier. And let's see what else we have. Oh yeah, we have torpedoes on this ship. If you actually look at this, the little stats card here, it says she has 8 twin torpedo mounts. That is incorrect. She has 4 twin torpedo mounts. They go out to only 5 kilometers, but they do 60 knots and reload at a rate of fire of 1 round a minute. So that's base rate of fire of 60 seconds. and I've gotten mine down to about maybe 45-50 seconds or so. So they are pretty rapid firing as well. Pretty low detectability range, but at 5 kilometers it doesn't really matter. And max damage of 14,400 damage. Yeah, these are actually really interesting placed. They're not bow mounted tubes and they're not deck mounted tubes. It's actually these two squares right here and right here. So this is one twin launcher, this is another twin launcher, and that is copied on the other side. So they launch directly from the hull itself above the waterline. The arcs for these torpedoes are amidships and like right there, a slightly astern. They're not good arcs at all, and you have to give complete broadside in order to use them. And at 5 kilometers, your armor may not help you so much. So it's pretty much as a rush and a last-ditch decision. Honestly, there's not many games that I've actually been able to use the torpedoes because I've been trying to stay at range and use my guns most of the time. But it is still definitely a possibility, and it's not something you actually come across on any battle cruisers so far in the game. So between Queen Mary, Tiger, Canada, Repulse, Hood, Vanguard, Monarch, and Victoria, none of those have torpedoes at all. And only, I think, Repulse has a fighter seaplane, and we have one on Repulse as well. We actually, how many do we have? 3 aircraft. So that gives you a slight advantage as well in terms of spotting. Speed, we go 31.5 knots base speed, but as all battle cruisers have, or British battle cruisers, we have the ability to equip a speed boost and a repair. Oh, that's not what I need. And a heal as well. So yeah, against destroyers, you have secondaries and good main guns and good speed. Against cruisers, you have good guns and torpedoes if you need it, but really, guns will be all you need. Against battleships, you have guns and torpedoes. Against carriers, you have good AA and good speed. Like I said, your main drawbacks are going to be armor and maneuverability, since you are such a long ship. But if you can work around those, then you can actually make her shine really well. She has a little bit of everything. So you have like the secondaries of a German ship, kind of. You have the main guns of a British ship, or British battlecruiser, I should say. You have the speed of like a Gneisenau, and you have the AA of an American battleship. And the surprise torpedoes of like a Rodney or something like that. So it's really quite nice. And with that, I have talked about her enough. Let's toss her into a game. Alright, near results a game. Oh, good, we have a carrier. That'll be nice. 3 battleships, 3 cruisers, and 1 destroyer. Actually, it's a pretty decent game, I would say. I'm going to start out with high explosive, and I do have the modules to, well, for accuracy for the main guns, and then for secondary and anti-aircraft gun survivability as well. So we should be able to keep those alive as much as possible. I do have health buffs and speed buffs applied, or at least a few of them, not all of them yet. But this is not the base ship. Let's see, what's our reload? 22 seconds. That's not terrible. Torpedo arcs. So yeah, pretty much from amidships. Very limited stern and fore arcs. But I mean, yeah, they're there. You can still use them. I actually forget about them most of the time. I'm not used to the fact of having a battle cruiser with torpedoes. But it will be a very nasty surprise because I'm sure I'm not the only one that'll forget that she has torpedoes. Alright, so we're just trying to get into position here. Let's use a speed boost and get there a little bit quicker. I think I can get her almost up to 40 knots already. Let's see, I think it's 39.8. 39.2. Alright, so I was off a bit, but yeah, I can get the ship to go a little bit faster than normal, considering she goes the base speed of 31.5 knots. Alright, so we should be seeing some targets pretty soon. I think this is the first time I've been on this map with this ship. So we'll have to see how it goes. Also, one thing that I didn't really talk about, you have a very flat hangar side right behind the second smokestacks there. I don't know if that's going to be a really bad shell trap or not. So if you're being shot at from astern and you have plunging fire, that might be a very bad place for shells to land. Alright, first target. Actually, 2 targets, but we're going to shoot at the Renown because we have high explosive loaded. And might as well switch over to armor piercing, but let's see what we can do with high explosive first. Pretty accurate shots. Only 1 hit, but we did get an immediate fire. That does definitely help us. She is kind of giving us broadside. I think that's enough for my armor piercing shells to go through the armor, so let's take a pot shot, see what we can do. Yep, 2 citadels. So as you can see, your broadside armor, not the best. I actually thought it would stand up a little bit better than that, but it apparently does not. Let's see, should we finish her? Yeah, might as well. We are actually under attack by the carrier. How very daring. Okay, so that time the armor did work. We had 3 pens, but it pretty much did nothing. Of course, it's an immediate flood. Alright, let's see if we can finish her off. Another citadel, but she's still kicking. Let's see, Kitsushima and an Andrea Doria. Let's rush the Andrea Doria and use our torpedoes, I'd say. I really want to take out some of these cruisers. So let's use 1 turret for you. And launch our other 2 this way. We're actually taking quite a beating. Ooh, 2 shells and that did almost 8,000 damage. I will take that. You do not have a defensive AA on the ship, so whatever stats you have for AA defense are the only stats you have. Let's see if we can punch this Hiryu a little bit. I don't really want to sink her outright, but maybe we can get her down to about half health or so. Yep, that'll work. I'll take that. Alright, secondaries. Ooh, actually, hold on. We're being attacked. And more torpedoes. That's always nice. Alright, time to go. So you can kind of see the secondaries are not the best. They shoot the target, but they don't really hit the target. Alright, enough for the torpedoes. The AA is actually not doing as well as I thought it would be. So we're actually going to have to go this way around it now. But at least we only had the 1 flooding. Alright, finish you off because you're a pain in the butt. And let's start torpedoing ships. Or at least attempting to. I'd love to put my fighter in the air, however Andrea Doria over there has one of the strongest AA suites as well. Did she really... She was able to get another launch against us? Really? Alright, well now I can't really do much. I have to pull back and regain some of my health. But let's see if we can get some sneaky torpedo drops here. Alright, I'm gonna stay a little bit farther away now. And switch to high explosive here. Alright, and those torpedoes are not going to hit. But you can see how they were launched into twin, or sets of 2. Alright, I am a little bit farther away. Let's put our fighter in the air and start dodging. There's the carrier again. We're turning away from the torpedo bombers. 2 hits, no fire. But we have a few more shells to send their way. Honestly, let's just switch back to armor piercing because it looks like that was working best against the carrier. Still taking torpedoes. The 25% torpedo damage resistance doesn't exactly seem to be working all that well, though. Alright, so there goes the Hiryu. Alright, now we can rush the battleships with torpedoes. Speed boost on, and let's go. See, torpedoes are already reloaded. And we're going to knock down some more aircraft while we still can. And we're going to pop our last heal as well. It does look like it is the battlecruiser super heal as well, so that's definitely helpful. You can come back before you're shot down. My secondaries are actually able to engage the Renown all over here across the island. Now, what is this Andre Dory doing? You're aground. Okay. So we're going to focus our mains on this Renown right now and get a Citadel hit through the stern. That's always nice. And then we're going to come around and torpedo this Andre Doria. Let's see if we can slap this Leon one more time. I'll take that. Alright, I don't know what happened to you, but you took quite a bit of damage already. Let's launch our torpedoes. That'll sink you. We can at least look a little bit, I guess. There we go. Let's actually see what the widespread is. Widespread is not actually that widespread. That's a pretty compact spread for torpedoes. I know I wasn't actually aiming at anything for those, so I'm not expecting those to hit. But I was just trying to see what it looked like. The secondaries are actually doing enough, well, a little damage. Leon doesn't have a lot of superstructure at all, but I am still whittling her down a little bit by a little bit. Let's see if we can get a secondary kill. And the torpedoes are coming in. She just needs a little bit more. Can we get it? Nope. I think, yep, the carrier's gonna get it. Alright, well, I'm not too disappointed. Let's see how we did. So we did kind of take a lot more damage than I expected. She's a bit squishy. But with 203,000 damage, 4 ships sunk, 56 shell hits, 2 torpedo hits, 26 aircraft shot down, 6 citadels, 1 fire, 1 module destroyed, and 102 secondary hits for 9,400 base XP and 13,600 free XP. 26 aircraft may not sound like a lot, but Hiryu itself only has about 76. So I shot down myself about a third of her air group, or about 33%. So against a carrier, how many times can you pull off strikes like that and take that kind of damage? Now, given if she had continued to focus on me, I would have been sunk before I could take out all of her aircraft, because I'm not exactly able to maneuver around torpedoes given my size and speed, but I was able to shoot down quite a few of her aircraft. Yeah, so secondaries are pretty good against destroyers and lighter cruisers. Battleships is kind of up in the air, but not really. Main guns, high explosive is really good at setting fires. Armor piercing, I have no problem at all with those guns. They're extremely good. Torpedoes themselves are not terrible. It's the arcs that they provide, but the spreads that they have are pretty good. You have like narrow or extremely narrow. That's all you get, which may work out actually. It's kind of special there. You have the fighter for spotting, you have speed boost to get around the map relatively quickly, and you have a battlecruiser super heal and battlecruiser high explosive shells with a higher fire chance. So there's many different ways you could play this ship. It's pretty much a jack of all trades kind of ship, And I wouldn't say she's my favorite prism ship, but she's definitely one of the better or more balanced ones. There's definitely some prism ships in the game right now that could use a little work to make them worth the prisms. This one seems worth the prisms, I would say. If you wanted my final opinion on whether to buy it or not, I would say if you have the money, sure, go ahead. She's a fun ship. You just have to understand that you have pretty squishy armor and you turn like a brick. If you can accept that, then sure, yeah, you can have a lot of fun with her. I haven't had a disappointing game yet, I would say. Let me put it that way. With that, I will wrap up today's video. If you like the video, make sure you like and subscribe. And tomorrow's video will be, I want to say, a subscriber request. We did already go over the second set of guns for the Tier 9 German battle cruiser, the 15-inch guns. However, now that they have had an increased update to their fire control, it was requested I do another video on the new fire control system. So we'll be actually doing another game in Lean tomorrow, and we'll be showing off the 15s. And after that, we'll be starting something new, but I will only tell you about that tomorrow because it's kind of been working on this for a while. So again, thank you for all who watch this, and take care.